Hi everyone, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer, and if you're anything like me, you're probably getting really curious about the iPhone 13, which is due to launch in less than a month. So I was really excited when the folks at ZEERA Wireless offered to send me their iPhone 13 series cases to check out. Obviously, ZEERA Wireless is just making their best guess at what the iPhone 13 series phones are going to look like, but what they've come up with is really interesting. Let's take a look. So looking first at ZEERA's iPhone 13 Pro case. This is the really surprising one. It's the one with the most differences. So when you're first looking at it, you're like, well, that looks pretty much like an iPhone 12 Pro case. Same size, etc. But then you look at that camera opening and you realize, wow, that is a massive camera opening. So just to show you the difference between that and ZEERA's iPhone 12 Pro case. So when you put them together, you can see, okay, this was the 12 Pro, that's where the camera is, and then you got your 13 Pro underneath it. Huge difference, and it's not just the diameter of it, it's also the thickness. Look how thick that 13 Pro one is, as opposed to the 12 Pro, which is almost flush. I mean, it's just very, very slightly raised. That thing is huge. Big, big, big difference. So obviously I don't have an iPhone 13 Pro to try this on with, but I'm going to try it on here with my iPhone 12 Pro, even though I know it's not going to fit properly because it's all we've got. You can see that the size of the phone in terms of the thickness and the height and width and all that is basically the same. And looking down here at our port openings, these are more or less okay. But when you look at the buttons, you can see the buttons are distinctly offset. This will absolutely not work, and you can't access your mute switch at all. Really, really big difference there. Looks kind of okay from here, except for the fact it doesn't fit over the buttons, so that's kind of weird. And same thing obviously with your side button. Distinctly offset here. And then when you look at the back, you can see there is this grotesquely huge camera opening here. I mean, the little tiny camera here. I thought that this was a big camera on the 12 Pro before I saw it in a 13 Pro case. And man, look at this thing. So super tall and super wide. That is just a large, large camera opening. We better get some really fantastic camera functionality out of the iPhone 13 Pro in order to compensate for having to have such an enormous camera on the phone. The other iPhone 13 cases that ZEERA sent me are less exciting. So this one here is for the iPhone 13, quite different than the iPhone 13 Pro case. So we have a much smaller camera opening. Comparing it to the one that ZEERA makes for the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, which is the same case rather than having two separate cases. You can see that you've got a bigger camera opening here for the 12 and 12 Pro as opposed to the 13. As far as the height of the camera opening, the rim around it, looks basically the same. I think it might be very, very, very slightly taller, but that's debatable. If it's taller, it's just a tiny, tiny bit higher. Not much at all, but just like with the iPhone 13 Pro case that we looked at, the buttons don't line up. So your iPhone 13 is going to need a completely different case than any case for the iPhone 12 or 12 Pro. It's definitely not going to fit. As you can see, buttons won't fit, mute switch opening will not fit. The iPhone 13 mini case appears to be just about exactly identical to the iPhone 12 mini case. Again, it's possible that that camera opening might be just a hair taller, but I wouldn't swear to it. And the buttons line up and everything. These two should be interchangeable, so no exciting changes there, at least as far as the case is concerned, for the iPhone 13 mini as opposed to the 12 mini. Finally, looking at the iPhone 13 Pro Max, we've got a higher rim around the camera area, but the camera area itself appears to be the same size as on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So looking at the iPhone 12 Pro Max case from ZEERA, Looks to me like our buttons are going to be in the same spot. And again, it's the same size for the camera opening as far as I can tell. Looks like it. But we do have a taller camera. So you can see we've got that extra high camera rim as opposed to just a smaller camera rim on the other one. So that's definitely a difference there. Other than that though, everything else looks basically the same. Construction-wise, these cases seem decent and they're well priced. The back plate is made of a polycarbonate material, so it's going to scratch and show fingerprints, but probably not going to yellow. Sides are TPU, so yellowing is going to be a hazard with these cases. They're not drop rated, but they look like they should provide decent everyday protection for your phone. And of course, they are MagSafe. So definitely some cases to consider if you're looking for a case for your new iPhone 13 series phone. These cases are available directly from ZEERA Wireless, and they're priced at 2 for $26.99, and you can mix and match between phone models, so that is definitely a pro. Also, you can save 10% by using the coupon code in the description below, so definitely take advantage of that if you're interested in purchasing a product from ZEERA Wireless. Again, we don't know for sure whether these cases are going to fit on the iPhone 13 series phones because the 13s aren't out yet, but hopefully these cases are going to fit properly. Many thanks to the kind folks at ZEERA for sending me out these samples to review. If you've got any questions about these cases or about anything else, please feel free to put them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. And please do consider subscribing to my channel because I've got a lot of iPhone 13 series content coming up. Again, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.